Hello and happy Easter. It's no longer the journey to Easter, but we are here. Today is Monday, April 10th, in the octave of Easter. We celebrate Easter all week long and hopefully continuing on because we celebrate the resurrection. We celebrate the truth about him in our lives. The reading today in the gospel, it comes from Matthew, the 28th chapter. And of course, this is after Jesus' resurrection. And of course, the chief priest, they're scrambling. They don't know what to do because, of course, the body of Jesus is not there. It's not there in the tomb. And they have no idea. And they're afraid that just maybe, what he said did come true, that he did rise from the dead. But you know what? Their pride, their obstinate pride is just getting in the way. Listen to what they say to the soldiers. The chief priests assembled with the elders, and they took counsel. And then they gave a large sum of money to the soldiers, telling them, "You are to say his disciples came by night and stole him away while we were asleep. And if this gets to the ears of the governor, we will satisfy him and keep you out of trouble." Right there. Their obstinate pride is what I'd like to call it, gets in the way of them truly seeing, what is true and what is real. They're really afraid to be wrong, and I think that is their greatest thing. I think that is their greatest sin. As a result, this sin can often lead to other sins of deception and manipulation and anger. And I think that's how they were living because they were so angry. And there are stories that we're going to listen in the weeks to come in our reading, just in the Acts of the Apostles, that tell how, these chief priests and these elders were trying to keep the disciples, from sharing this good news. Their anger kept them from seeing what was really true and what was real. I think this speaks to us in some way, because it's telling us we have to be careful of that obstinate pride. We have to be careful of those times when we are wrong, but we're too prideful to admit that we are wrong. We all go through it. No one likes to say, "I'm wrong." But I think when we look at this message, we begin to see how that sin in itself can just tear us apart. And it can create so much more anger inside of us, and it can destroy so many more relationships that are ahead of us. I think today we take a lesson from the chief priest, and we reflect upon, how they responded to this moment. And maybe we need to embrace just a little bit more that humility. And when we are wrong, or we have wronged someone, that we say we're sorry. And we admit it. And I can tell you, when you admit that, it's a freedom that is just incredible in your life. And I can tell you, too, it'll just help you in your relationships. Continue your journey through the octave of Easter.